I've been a subscriber since November the year 2025, and I have been watching a lot of your confessions. I have my own story that I want to share with you about my own world that I want to open up to you, specifically the banking sector. That is where real darkness even hides. I am sending this to you because I want other women to know that these things, they are for real. Every time when I think about the sacrifices that I'm supposed to make, and whenever I come across the snake that belongs to my blesser, my heart, it just makes me to feel so weak with the way that it will be beating so fast. I used to be a private banker at FNB. I was someone that had made it in life, a single mom. I had it all. I had a beautiful apartment, a nice car, and I was just enjoying life. I had been dealing with high net worth individuals, people usually that have millions in their accounts. My job was simple: to give them financial advice, to grow their wealth, and to keep them happy. But Brother Nashi, I learned the hard way that it is not each and every person that has clean money. I am dating a ritualist. How it all started. It started with a routine appointment. A Nigerian businessman. This man came into my office for some high-level financial planning. He was charming. He was extremely wealthy. He was very soft-spoken. When he came to my office, the way that he smelled so nice, this made me to feel attracted to him. When he started to flirt with me, even on the first day, I pretended that I was not into that. And before him, I had never dated any man outside of my tribe. I had only dated men that were awesome, as I am also speaking. So this man, he made me to think about it. It started as a professional consultation about offshore accounts and diversified portfolios. Slowly shifted. He started telling me that he wanted a woman like me, even though he had a girlfriend. And I said, you have the nerves. You're telling me that you want to date me, but you have another woman. What kind of a man are you? He then told me that he had been facing some difficulties in his relationship. He gave this woman all that she wanted, and the woman did not give him the love that he thought he deserved. When he told me the allowance that he had been giving to this woman, I said, some women, they are blessed, but they don't know how much they are blessed. I was single by then, and I said, let me take this guy and let me show him proper South African love. He started giving me life advice, telling me that a beautiful, intelligent woman like me should not be slaving for a basic salary and a small commission. The guy was a smooth talker, Bro Nashi. He made me feel like I was just wasting my potential. After a few months of professional flirting, he invited me to Joburg for the weekend. He said that he wanted to show me how he lived in his own world. I was hesitant. I had never done this in my entire career. I had never dated someone that used to be a client of mine, and the fact that he asked me for a date on the day when he came to consult, it was something that no one had ever done before. So the lure of the soft life was just too strong. He flew me from Cape Town, and I came to Joburg. To tell you the truth, I had never been to Joburg in my entire life. When I came to Joburg, I came via business class. And then he came and he picked me up with an S-class. He picked me up from OR Tambo, and he took me to a 5-star hotel. This was so amazing. In a 5-star hotel with him, I understood his situation, because he told me that his baby mama had the habit of coming to his house at all the times. And I said, no, it's fine. I know that there is baby mama drama. And he told me that he only made that woman to be pregnant because there was proof that was needed that they were in love and they had like a relationship, so that he can get a South African ID, and they ended up falling in love. But the woman was problematic because she was always drunk at all the times. So when I was with him in the hotel, it was so nice. As for the love making, it was something that was out of this world. And when you make love to a man that you know is financially stable, the moment that he is touching you, you forget about everything. For you know that all your problems, they will disappear the moment that you tell him that you want him to do this and that for you. He will do it for you without even thinking twice. It was an amazing night. And then I had a dream. I was lying in a bed that was made out of old coins, but these were not your South African coins. They were from another country. As I was moving and turning, that was when I saw that these coins, they started turning into skulls, and they became a massive python, which was very big. It was looking at me, and it started to lick my thighs. I could not move. I could not do anything. When I woke up, I was shaking. I wanted to tell my blesser about these weird dreams that I had the previous night, but I just forgot. Whenever I wanted to tell him, I would just forget. We went to have breakfast. It was nice. We stayed there for nearly 5 days. And each and every time when I would think about telling him this dream that I had of a snake just licking my private part as well as my thighs, then I would just forget. Even when we were making in love, when I would say, there is something that is in my mind that is stopping me from concentrating. I have a dream that I had the first night when we were in this room. Then he will just kiss me and I would forget about everything, and then we will continue with our love making. 5 days for the sleepover was over, and then I came back to Cape Town. When I came back, brother, I lived my life the way that I was living it before, but this guy, he made me to become addictive to the money that he was giving to me. So by the time that my birthday rolled around 3 months later, I was deep into his world. I was still working, but I was someone that had money because he always gave me money. Within 1 week, the money that he would give to me, sometimes it will be equivalent of the money that I would make in a month. I really did not even care anymore about working. I'll just go to work to socialize. Down the parking lot, there was a car that this guy had bought for me. He really embarrassed me because I'm someone that is very shy. When I returned back home from work, I saw that there was a new car that was there wrapped in a giant ribbon. I never expected that this car belonged to me, but it was very quiet at the complex where I was staying. Then all of a sudden, when I reached my door, it was open, and I said, maybe there are thieves that have broken into my apartment. It was my sister who had opened up the door for him. And when I went inside, it was like a surprise. And he had bought for me a brand new Audi Q5 for my birthday. It was so amazing. That night, we went and we slept at the hotel. That was when I managed to tell him the dreams, and I said, I had a dream when we were in Joburg. This dream, it is still giving me sleepless nights. I had a dream. I saw that there was a snake that was busy licking my private parts. Then he told me that in his country, they believe in these water spirits, but he did not tell me at that time that he was a ritualist. He just said that I am a blessed woman because in his country, if you have the spirits of the mermaid, it means that you can get men that are as rich as he is. He finally convinced me to move from Cape Town, and I came to Joburg. I was like, why not? Let me go and be with this man. He told me that I was supposed to leave the job. So I left the job and I came to Joburg, where I am currently staying. I really don't work. That is what troubles me a lot. I don't have anything to fall back on, and I'm just lazy to look for a job. I can still get a job, work from home, but I do not want to do that because this guy, he is maintaining me. He takes good care of me. I stay at home at all the times. I try to convince myself that it is okay, the things that he told me. He only told me when I became sick. Brother Nashi, there was a time when I could not even drive my car. What happened? I was busy cleaning the windows one day. So I had a small step ladder that I was using. I was not even high up on the ladder. I had just climbed the first step and I was busy cleaning because my maid, she had gone for the Easter holidays to her country, and I said, let me just clean my apartment. And I did not want to speak with my boyfriend because I had suggested that we should have a child because I just feel lonely being alone at all the time. So he told me that he's not yet ready for a second baby. So we fought like no man's business, and he had been calling me and I did not want to pick up the phone. Then when I was busy cleaning the windows, because that is how I am, when I am hurt, I do not cry. I just do what my mom taught me. My mom told me that when a woman is angry, look for something that you can do in your house. Do your chores, iron, wash dishes, and just clean. You're going to be okay to release that tension. So as I was busy cleaning the windows, that was when I fell. I did not feel any pain. But when I went to bed, I started to feel so much pain. I even took some ice blocks and I started putting them on my thighs because I felt as if there was someone that was busy stitching me with a needle inside of my thighs. I felt so much pain in my veins. I called him late at night and I said, I can't do anything, Emmanuel, because I am in pain. He then drove and he came to my apartment. He had this oil that he told me to take. I took that oil, rubbed it on my thighs, then immediately I felt okay. The next day, when I woke up, when I accompanied him to the gate, when I was walking back to the apartment, that was when I realized that my legs, they were so swollen. I started to feel so much pain. I rushed to the doctor, was given some antibiotics, but it did not work. Then there was a time when I thought that I had fallen pregnant. I really do not know what happened. I just felt like I was pregnant. Then 2 months down the line, then I felt so much pain in my stomach. My stomach would cramp so hard, I would collapse. I felt as if there was a baby that was growing too fast inside of my womb. I went to the bathroom and then I was on my period. I was bleeding, but the blood that was coming out, it was just dark. I then spoke with Emmanuel and I asked him, because all the things that were happening to me, they were not normal at all. He then sat with me down. What he told me, brother, to this very day, it terrifies me. He told me that when he was in his country, he was so broke. He even said, with the way that I was broke back home in Nigeria, he would not even get close to me. He told me that he used to sell in the CBD as a street vendor, and one day when he had an argument with another man who did not have change, and he just wanted that man to look for change somewhere else, because if that man will just go without paying, this meant that he was going to go to bed hungry. He told me that there was a man that stopped. He was driving a beautiful car. He listened to their conversation and he came to where Emmanuel was and he said, I can see that this man has wronged you, but still, you are still calling him sir in a very respectful way. I know you street traders, you do not have any humility in you, but you are such a humble fellow. How far did you go with your education? And he told him that He had a degree, and he gave him a piece of paper with a number that was written on it, and that man told Emmanuel to call him. Later on, he called him, and he was invited to a house where he was told that all that he wanted he could get, but he was supposed to join a brotherhood. He did not tell me much about the brotherhood. He said that the snake that I always see sometimes in my apartment or at his house, because even though we are dating serious, but we don't stay with each other. He visit me, I also visit him, but we are in love, and I always see a python. Sometimes it is big, sometimes it is small, a meter long, sometimes even 3 meters or 4 meters, as big as a small car. So he told me that this snake that I saw even in my dreams, this was his own mother that was visiting me, and he told me that I was born with a gift of prophecy. This was a prophecy, the dream that I had of a snake that was licking my private part, and he said that it was the spirit of his late mother who was licking my private part as well as my thighs. That is why there was a time when I thought that I was pregnant, but I was not pregnant at all. It is just that his mother, even though she is a dead person, but her spirit possesses a snake, and for this snake to survive, it does not eat anything, rather it licks the private parts of the woman that he will be dating at that time. And he told me that I have a pure soul, more than the baby mama, because she is always drunk and she is not clean, for she sleeps with countless men, and as for me, I have only been sleeping with him. Therefore it means that my private part, my womb, it is clean. We then did a ritual so that this snake won't hurt me. Even if it comes to lick my private part, I won't get sick like the way that I got sick the first time around, because my womb had not been strengthened for a snake to leave its saliva inside of my private part. I was taken to another house. I was surprised, for this house was the house of a pastor. He prayed for me, but not in a normal prayer that we all do when we pray. He was praying to another deity that I forgot the name. I have been living with this guy. He takes care of me. I'm sharing this because I want people to know that whenever you see someone that has money, it is not each and everyone that has clean money. Some of us, we do have our private parts being licked by a python when we are fast asleep. The reason as to why me and my Nigerian boyfriend, we cannot stay with each other, it is because he sleeps with the spirit of his mother, as if the spirit of his mother is the spirit of his wife. So the mother comes to him and then it becomes a snake. He sleeps with a snake. I don't know how it happens. So when this happens, he is not supposed to be with a woman in the house where there is a room with the altar where he communicates with the spirit of his mother. I am okay with that. I have made peace with the fact that my boyfriend is a ritualist. I don't go to work. I don't do anything. I stay at home. I go on vacations. I eat nice food, and I do whatever that I want with my money. But I don't have anything to fall back on if it happens that this guy dies. He told me that the money that he gives to me, it cannot be saved. I am not allowed to save even a single cent. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Let us try to speak with our dear sister in the comment section. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Let us try to speak with our dear sister in the comment section. I'll be back with another episode.